Hello everyone, Merry Morning here, and I'm doing the Witchy 17 question tag by Ravenflower, and I'm out for a walk with my dog Bella. See if you can see her here. I don't know if this will be too windy, we'll see. I might have to redo this, so wait until I get home and see how it looks. But it's too pretty of a day not to get out, and I don't know about any of you, but I have been experiencing some really crazy energy the past couple of days that it's like, it feels like surging energy, like I need to ground myself, get out in the woods, go for a walk, something like that. Just to sort of, I don't know, ground myself with all this energy. So I brought my questions with me so I can answer these. Thank you to Ravenflower for doing the questions. So we'll start with question number 1. When times get tough, do you fight or do you take flight? Well, I almost take that question more as, are you a lover or a fighter? Because I'm a peacemaker. I don't normally start fights. It's just not in my nature. Not that you can walk all over me either, because I do have boundaries, but no, I don't go around picking fights. If somebody sort of crosses a boundary, I will, walk away. So in that case, then I guess I do take flight, because I don't stick around. If I feel that somebody is either taking advantage or causing issues, problems, yeah, I won't stick around. It's just not, I just believe in walking away from any kind of negativity. Not that I don't try and help people if there is some sort of issue that they need the help with, but it's I won't go in and look for a fight, put it that way. Let's see, number 2, is there a certain color you connect with? Well, black, obviously. I'm always wearing black. Other than that, I wear purple a lot, and I wear dark red. You see my hair is a nice bright red. And by the way, I'm wearing my Universal Monsters dress today that I made, which I love. So I take an old t-shirt and I turn it into a dress. Just one of my favorite things to do. But interesting enough as well, like when I got my aura done, you know how they can do aura photography? It was mostly purple. Kind of a magenta purpley color. So yeah, I guess that is my favorite color. What is your sun, moon, and rising sign? Well, I'm an Aquarius sun. If you hadn't guessed, we're usually the eclectic weirdos, so that's pretty fitting. Pisces moon, so lots of emotion, and Cancer rising. So I always get those two confused and think Cancer is my moon, but I looked it up to make sure before I did this video, and it's Pisces moon and Cancer rising. So that makes me an air with water. I don't have much earth in my signs at all. That's one of my lacking elements. But lots of air and water. Let's see, something you would change if you could. The self, the world, or magically? I would just want more love in the world. Less fighting, less politics, less all of that. I'd like to rewind the clock a little back to when people were actually nice to each other. And when I could enjoy the internet and enjoy hanging out in chat rooms or forums or whatever. Like, you try that nowadays, besides the Witchy community, which has been awesome. But if you try that these days, like going to a forum, it doesn't matter what the topic is, there's people fighting and arguing and posturing, and yeah, it's a mess out there. So more love in the world. Let's make it happen. Are you passing down your knowledge to the next generation? If so, in what way? Well, I'm an empath, and my son is definitely an empath, although he does not believe in any of that stuff. And even just recently tried to tell me he was atheist, and all I kept thinking was, where did I go wrong? But I let him be, I let him do his own thing. Yes, I tried to talk to him and, teach him a few things. He does catch on once in a while, but he's only 19. So he's got a long way to go to learn things. Like, he's still young. So, ancestor connections, who's coming through? Well, I do get my mother and father quite a bit. I know that they are in the house often, watching over. I'll see my mother often in the hallway. My father, he pretty much hangs around my son. So I think he must be one of my son's spirit guides. As far as, like an ancestor older than that, I do have a lady from the 1700s. My dog's getting impatient. I better hurry up. So, just a minute, Bella, stay. Just a minute. Be good. Be good. Just give me a minute. I know. Okay, so, yeah, I have a lady from the 1700s. She's definitely an ancestor of Irish descent, and she comes through quite often in meditations, visions, that kind of thing. Definitely has a witchy vibe. I've had psychics tell me about her. Like, she's around me a lot. So I think she's guiding me in spiritual matters, for sure. Let's see. I know. I'm trying to hurry. Do you prefer to do magic with others or by yourself? So I've done both, obviously. Yeah. That's an interesting question, because when you're with a group, the energy is stronger, because you're all sort of, you just work up more energy when you're together. But it's a mixed energy. So, hang on, I've got to go. The dog is freaking out. Okay, back. Sorry, she got herself all tangled, so I had to go untangle her. Let's see. Do you prefer to do magic with others or by yourself? Okay, so what I was trying to say is that with a group, it's definitely stronger energy. Meaning that whatever you're working on pretty much comes to fruition. Like, I've never had a group one that didn't. But at the same time, it's very mixed energy, because it depends on what the whole group is thinking about, where they are, if somebody has a fear about whatever you're working on. Yeah, working with a group is a mixed thing. Let's just put it that way. You have to really trust the people you're with. You have to know them really well. And have, a common belief system, even. If they're more focused on something completely different than what you're focused on, you can do those sort of workings where you all add in your personal thing that you want to work on, but still you're going to have the energy of all those people in the room. It's just how it happens. Especially as an empath, like, I'll take on whoever, whatever is going on in the room, in the group, I take it on. I can't help it. Let's see. Question number 8. Do you feel there is only one type of meditation? No, definitely not one type. Yeah, I've been to a million different group meditations with lots of teachers. They all kind of have their own way of doing it. Yeah, different teachers have different energy. You know, just like when you're doing spell work, the meditations are much stronger than they are when you're by yourself. So same sort of thing. I quite often have more vivid visions. You know, traveling is easier when I'm in a group, definitely. But if I really want to do some like deep work, then I will do a meditation on my own. And one of my favorite things to do is to just, you know, put on one of those videos on YouTube, like the 432 megahertz, whatever it is, one of those with nobody talking. It's just kind of like a tone kind of music. And lots of joggers today.
Booby trap.
So I love to put on the 432 videos and do my meditation like that. Yeah, I just find that if I want to get in touch with, say, like you want to go into past lives, you want to get into the Akashic records, or you want to talk to a spirit guide, that kind of thing. Oh, that's like awesome. Like get in a nice hot bubble bath with some bath salts and put on one of those 432 or 5 something megahertz videos and just listen to them and meditate, and yeah, it's pretty awesome. So question number 9, what's your favorite flower and why? Iris and lilies would be my favorite flower for sure. I have lots of iris in my garden. Always love lilies. I buy them all the time at the grocery store and that. I can't get them to grow. Probably not in the right area to grow lilies, but I do love them. Have you tried a new form of divination this year? Yes. So I just finished a year-long course, you know, a Wheel of the Year course, basically. And we did a lot of shadow work and we did a lot of different things, but one part of it was doing different divination. So every season we switched to a new divination. And one of them was I Ching. And I have to admit I found it thoroughly confusing. I don't know, it's just one of those things that, you know, math and divination just, yeah. So, but what I did find interesting about I Ching is how accurate it was. It's kind of like the runes. It's very to the point, short, accurate. You know, you want to know something, ask it a question, it'll give you an answer, short and to the point. Let's see. Number 11, what is your favorite way to connect to the elements? Well, getting outdoors, definitely. Going for a walk or a hike. Lots of runners here. I used to run. Can't run anymore. I don't know. Maybe one of these days I'll try it again. I mountain bike though. But yeah, get out inside in nature, hug a few trees, take the dog for a walk so she's happy. Yeah, it just feels nice. Gardening, same kind of thing, but not quite as nice as getting out in the woods. Let's see. Number 12, tea or coffee? Definitely coffee in the morning. I cannot survive without coffee in the morning. And then tea throughout the day. So, both. Do you come from a witchy family, and do you feel that bloodline is important, or does it matter? I wouldn't call my family witchy. They do come from a long line of people that are known for folk magic. So my parents were from North Carolina, Asheville area in the Smoky Mountains. So that's an area that practices folk magic on a regular basis. And did I see them doing it? All the time. Definitely. My dad would mix up herbs and make teas, and he had a garden, and he was always making these remedies and that sort of stuff. My mother used tarot, but she would never have called herself a witch. Never in a million years. She would have thought that she was a good Baptist, lady. So the tarot cards, I remember them. I remember lots of books on psychic stuff. I still have a few of the books on folk magic. So they definitely did it, but they would have never admitted to that. Never in a million years. In fact, one of the things that my mother did, and I wasn't raised in the South. You can probably guess that by my accent. I was born and raised in Washington State. My parents moved from the South in probably about the mid-60s because my father was military. So I was not raised around it. Don't know the family members in Asheville. I wish I did, but I don't. I've done a bit of ancestry work to figure out where everybody's from, and a bit, of information on the history of North Carolina. But I haven't been back to visit, since I was a kid. So, yeah. I'll tell you a little story about my mother that I think is funny, and kind of explains a little bit more of the, Christian mixed with witchiness. So my mother used to sit and meditate all the time, constantly. And one of her things that she would do, she had this big bust of Jesus that she put up on this shelf across from the couch so that she could look at it. And she would just sit there and meditate and kind of zone out, probably going into a journeying kind of, meditation, but using a bust of Jesus. So she still felt like she was, a good Christian, but very psychic. And I remember my mother telling me that I was going to have a son, and that his name would be Alex. And yeah, she passed away long before I had my son, a good 10 years before I had my son. So she was right. Yeah, very psychic, very intuitive. I don't know if that answers the question. So it's kind of like yes and no. Do you need to be born into a bloodline? No. Because, no. I think you'd be lucky if you were raised in a household that, practiced the folk magic in a good way. And, I could have learned from grandmothers and that sort of thing. But I don't feel like I'm any less powerful or any less witchy because I didn't grow up around my extended family, put it that way. I think I actually have extended it further because I do a lot of research, and probably growing up in the South I wouldn't have. I would have just, done whatever the family members did. So moving right along. List 3 of your favorite YouTube channels. Oh gosh, well, I have so many favorites. Who am I loving right now? Well, I love Joey Morris, and her and Chris together especially are pretty awesome chats. I love that they are not afraid to tackle deep topics. I love that about them. Yeah, I like talking to people in the chat room, that kind of thing. Some other favorites. Oh, I would still list Laura Daligan as one of my all-time favorites, just because she was one of the first ones I found when I started watching witchy YouTube channels and that kind of thing, so I kind of have a thing for her. I really like Mandy C. She does a lot of really good information in her videos. Somebody who, I'll mention a friend who has an awesome new channel, Karina Nature Lover. And what I love about Karina is not only is she doing, YouTube channel, but she's creating a community. Karina, she's like a little fairy, kind of, flicking between people, trying to get people together and creating community. She's created a Facebook page. There's a little bird. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you can catch him. Oh, he was cute. Little baby blue jay, maybe. That's the third blue jay I've seen while I'm out here. I love blue jays. So she's created a Facebook witchy group that's called the Witchy Exchange. So go and look for that. Like there's some great people in there. Let's see. What is your favorite witchy book? Ugh. Well, if you've watched my channel lately, you see that I am a book lover. I haven't even uploaded all the videos of my books. I still got another 2 to put out. So yeah, I have a million books. And probably Scott Cunningham is one of my favorite authors. I love Ellen Dugan. What's another author? Deborah Blake. Right now I'm reading Mandy C's Eclectic Wicca, which I'm enjoying. Yeah, I have a lot of favorite authors and lots of different topics. I'll read books from all different types of practices and that sort of thing, get an idea. But I don't just read only witchy books. I love to read, sort of esoteric books. What I would consider new age books. So like Dolores Cannon is awesome. If you haven't figured her out yet, don't go and get some of her books. Yeah, I don't just read witchy books. Like I kind of spread the love a little bit and read lots of different things. An herb you haven't worked with yet? Yeah, I'm not sure. I know there's probably lots. Because when I go into the witchy store, there's like an entire wall full of herbs. There's like, I don't know how many workings you would have to do to include all those herbs and all the different, spells and that over time. But yeah, there's probably lots of them that I haven't tried yet. But yeah, I'll get there. A little bit at a time. I'll learn a new one. What are your goals for the next year? Well, I think doing more of what I'm doing today is a good goal. So get outside, take the dog for a walk, get out in nature, and connect with that sort of thing. Mountain bike more. Keep learning and growing as far as witchy stuff. Meet new people, keep discovering things. In case you didn't know, I sew, and I have an Etsy store, and I'm working on some witchy community stuff. So I'm making up some capes, I'm making up some ritual robes. I have tarot bags on there already, but I might be making up some nicer ones. Maybe some altar cloths, that kind of stuff. That's something I'd like to get in the works for my Etsy shop. But I think I should end it here because the dog is getting really impatient, and she's been really good and waiting for me while I do this video when we're out on the trail and she wants to go run. So thanks for joining me, and thanks to Ravenflower for doing the 17 witchy questions. Thanks. Bye everyone, and blessed be.